Hello beautiful people, and welcome to DIY time with Snazzy Llama. So today I am going to make a small batch of sunscreen because I don't like using the other stuff. There's a lot of reasons why I actually don't even use that much sunscreen. I personally make zinc, which mostly I just cover my face, and then when I'm surfing I wear a shirt or something like that. But every once in a while it is nice to hang out at the beach, or if you're out doing some other activities, you need sunscreen. So there's a lot of different recipes online. So I'm just going to experiment with my own. I'm just going to make a small batch to start with. I think I found a recipe online that I like, but I don't want to waste stuff to make something that isn't right, so just start off with a small batch. The reason I'm making my own is because I don't like using that other stuff. When you put that other stuff on, it smells horrible. You can clearly smell the toxic whatever in it. If you use that stuff on your face and it goes in your eye, especially when you're swimming and stuff like that, it hurts. Yeah, there's plenty of information online that says that there's a lot of things in there which are actually cancer causing, defeating the whole purpose of actually putting them on in the first place. There's also other sorts of information out there that says doing your own DIY sunscreen is not good, not healthy, not safe. I believe it's up to you to decide what you want to believe. There's science on both sides of it, but basically I've been making my own things for ages and they work great. One of the things I make is my own zinc, which is for surfing, for sunscreen, and I can wear that for 3 to 4 hours out in the direct sun, and I can still see it on my face because zinc is a much thicker thing. In the direct sun, out surfing, waterproof, and it lasts and it works, and it's all natural ingredients and it's really good. So each to your own. Personally, I way prefer the natural version over the synthetic chemical type. So that's the beginning. Let's start. Alright guys, so here is basically the bunch of things that we need. So I've got a digital scale here. Got the immersion blender, which will be really important to make sure that we get a good mix. We make sure we get the zinc oxide mix for everything, so that we get a good, smooth, consistent spread on our skin. Here we have a double boiler, so we will be using this to melt the waxes and the oils and stuff like that. So you just put basically water underneath, the pot on top. We'll mix everything in the pot and we'll put that on the stove. Alright, so our ingredients are beeswax. So beeswax is beneficial for waterproofing and also for helping things stick to the skin. So really important and awesome to use. Here we have our zinc oxide powder. It's really important to use non-nano because apparently, so they say, the nano versions can actually soak into the skin. And yeah, we don't want that in our blood supply basically. But it is a natural product. It is non-toxic on the skin. And that is basically what's used in all natural sunscreens, pretty much. Here we have the coconut oil. So we've got different oils here. Coconut oil. This is actually a mix of jojoba and almond oil. I've mixed them together because they both can work that way anyway. So right, so science is not completely out on the whole raspberry seed oil thing, but apparently it has very good SPF factor. Vitamin E oil. We have cacao butter, so helps for it to sit on the skin, good for the skin. All these things are great for the skin. And shea butter, so I'm going to use a mixture of those two. Shea butter actually has a pretty high SPF as well, works great, so yeah. So to start with, I am heating up my harder type oils and waxes. So we've got in there the shea butter, cacao butter, and the beeswax. So I'll just give that time to melt. before I add the other stuff. Right, adding the coconut oil now. So I'm doing everything in 15 gram additions basically, so it's pretty much equal addition to all of them. But like I said, I want to add my own, I want to figure it out myself, what I like, what I think is best. I really don't like oily types of sunscreen, so yeah, I'm adding that. Alright guys, time for the zinc oxide. So this recipe is basically calling for 20% zinc oxide, which I believe in this recipe should be about SPF 30 plus, roughly. But we shall see. So as you can see, I have started just to put a dose on. I'm going to rub it in. So as you can see, it's left like a bit of a ghosty white kind of look. I mean, that's pretty consistent with the non-nano version. That's why the other versions they like to use, because it actually soaks into the skin. But there is something you can do about that. So one thing I've noticed with these non-nano versions as well is that when you put them under water, your skin tends to go more ghost palish. So not too bad at the moment. But I will probably add a little bit of cacao powder, to this, to just make it a little bit more skin coloured. So I had to change my container because I didn't make enough for it to blend in the bowl. So I'm just adding the cacao powder now. I'm going to just put it back in the hot so it doesn't go hard on me. Let's start. Alright, so this is with the cacao powder. So it's still got a bit of a whitish tinge. But once it's rubbed in, I mean, it's a lot easier to tell on this side because there's no hair on this side, but once it's rubbed in, can't even tell any's there. That's for this side. Not too bad. Now to test it out in the sun. Looks pretty miserable out there, but I'm going to get out for about half an hour, 45 minutes maybe. See how well the sunscreen works after that. Phew.